Father George Salzman of the Harvard Catholic Center. We're about 2 blocks from St. Paul's Church that way, and Harvard Yard is 1 block that way. We're sort of surrounded by history. We're talking about history. Wanted to talk about the Battle of Bunker Hill because we celebrated on Bunker Hill Day, and it's this coming Sunday, and to talk a bit about that. I want to talk about some of the people involved in it, 3 of the people involved in it, and then where and what, and then the significance of that. The people involved, first of all, where are we? We're here in Adam's house in what the English would call a secret garden, and in the middle of Randolph Court, we have this area where normally they would give out the diplomas to the graduates of Adam's house, but at the top is what I'd like you to take notice of, and that's Apthorpe House, dates from 1760. It was in there that General Israel Putnam planned the Battle of Bunker Hill. His family was from Danvers. He had moved to Connecticut. He was a prosperous farmer as time went on, but he had had a lot of experience in the French and Indian Wars. He had a lot of scars, a lot of experience, and he had a lot of courage. He was part of Rogers's raiders, and Rogers, who he was second in command to, was said by the troops to be someone who would send them into battle. By contrast, Putnam was someone who would always lead them into battle, and so they had the most respect for him. And of the Continental generals, the troops had the most respect for George Washington as time went on, and for Putnam. So he planned the strategy of the Battle of Bunker Hill there. I think, Lexington conquered, and the aftermath, following back down Route 2, coming to the east again, Mass Ave, the British troops from the regulars were harried by the colonials, and then 20,000 troops from patriots from all over New England states came in, and they were surrounding, so the British had to break through this siege, and the word came out they learned that they were going to go across into Charlestown, and so they decided to reinforce, not Bunker Hill, but Breed's Hill. They started to do that. The British saw that happening and attacked. They attacked in 3 waves. The first 2, the British had tremendous losses, not so much on our side. Then, of course, we had to retreat. We ran out of ammo. That was the only reason, not a lack of resolve. And so Prescott, in those 3 attacks, warned them that they were low on ammo. And so there's the famous line in war in American history: don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. You could be flumming, you could be worried, and you could shoot right away. Make sure every single shot counted. We don't have much ammo. And then there in the first readout was someone who they asked to be general. He turned it down because he put himself under Putnam, who had greater experience, and that was Dr. Joseph Warren, the fellow who sent Dawes and Paul Revere on the midnight rides. He was the head for Massachusetts at the Revolution, and it was he who fell there. It's a famous painting by John Trumbull of him dying, just much like Wolfe dying at the Battle of Quebec at the last moment of victory, his death, and the same with Dr. Joseph Warren. What might we say would be the significance of the Battle of Bunker Hill? I wonder if I could use an analogy. When I started in college, I started first in chemistry, moved into physics and math. And my first year I had like P-Chem and chemistry and all these things, but I also had calculus. But I had a course in number theory, and that seemed kind of esoteric. And I was wondering how I'd do. And I got the test results back. The professor said, wide range of numbers, and I saw I got a 24. I was horrified, thought maybe I just had to give up. And then I opened the thing, and I realized there were 4 questions, and I got 25 points for the other 3, and actually I got a 99. Now, the students I deal with all the time have exactly the same experience as all of us do as students. We don't exactly know whether we're going to make it or how we'll do. We have to kind of find our mettle. And I'm always talking to students who are thinking of leaving Harvard into staying, and things always work out for them. It's really important. If you think of Bunker Hill, other nations thought we would not be able to stand up to an organized army like the British. They didn't know if we could. Even if we could, they didn't know if we would. 50 years later, Lafayette came over, and they erected this great monument, or sort of an early Washington monument. Over there, you see whenever you come or go to Logan Airport, and that's the Bunker Hill Monument. And it really makes a phenomenal statement, because the question was, could we do it? And that answers the matter that we could. And would we decide to do it? And the answer is we would, and indeed we did. Amen.